Welcome back to another video. Here in northern Portugal, the hot summer days are starting to be replaced by wet autumnal ones. The leaves are starting to fall off the trees and our preparations for winter are starting to pick up pace. Over the last couple of weeks, our neighbours have started to prune back their grapevines. Our vines haven't been touched in years, and we decided that the metal structure holding up the vines next to the house is too unsafe to keep. The colder weather has given us the nudge that we need to start preparing the walls of the house for the external insulation. Something that I think I've mentioned in probably every video. In this video, we finally get started on it. The first step is to clean the walls. We sprayed an algicide to all of the areas that we're insulating and removed any remaining dirt and debris with the jet washer. In last week's video, I fixed 2 brackets to one of the windows and created a timber shutter to use as a basis for the shutters I plan to build. I used staples to attach the frame of the shutter as a test, but to make it more secure, I screwed it together. The plan for the final shutters is to use a hardwood and protect it as much as possible from the elements. I can already see that I've made this shutter a bit too big. The centre of the window is about here, so it's about 30 to 40 millimeters too big. I think for a proper test I'm going to have to put 2 more brackets up on the other side. Still haven't decided what the sort of infill panel will be. Makes most sense to have louvers, adjustable louvers, so we can open the windows internally and have ventilation coming through without direct sunlight. But that's obviously more complicated to do, and maybe for the time being we'll just have solid shutters. One issue with these two windows is that because they're so close together, two shutters this size will clash in the middle. One way of sorting that out is to have a sort of concertina shutter, so there'll be another hinge in the middle, another two verticals. Basically this will be split into two, and then you can fold one back. I think that's the right thing to do. It makes things a lot more complicated, but if we want both of these shutters open, they'll clash in the middle, so I think that's the right thing to do. Also in last week's video, I removed this kitchen unit from what was the original kitchen in the house. The plan originally was to throw it away as it wasn't in the best condition, but I decided to try and clean it up and give it a second chance. At the start of the cleanup, I didn't really have a plan of what I was going to do with it. I soon realised that it could be turned into a storage unit for the workshop. I'll keep hold of the sink, the tap, hinges and the doors, as there might be a use for them in the future. I had this timber board lying around. It was meant for a project that never materialised, so I'm using it here as a countertop. Me. I'll go back. Once the walls were cleaned, we could start installing the starter track for the external wall insulation system. We were only insulating at first floor level for now, as we might alter the openings on the ground floor in the future. Swing it over to me if you can. We're aligning the aluminium starter track with the horizontal render line around the building, which lines up with the render on the original part of the house. We checked that this line was level before proceeding. Going in. Pretty good. Along with the mortar, adhesive and mechanical fixings, the track will support the insulation boards above. It turns out our neighbours lost their horses. The starter tracks are connected together by 3D printed clips. These can be purchased, but our supplier didn't have any in stock, so I 3D printed them along with some shims to help level out the track in places where the existing wall isn't flat. Yeah. On the other side of the house, we checked for loose render and we found it. As part of the process, you have to repair any broken bits of render before continuing. I think if they're quite small, then it's fine. But what we've been doing is going around with a hammer and just tapping all the areas that look a bit suspect and make sure that we repair them. Demo, Bez? Yeah. Yeah. We patched up damaged areas of the old sand and cement render with a fast curing sand and cement mix of our own. After clearing space for the scaffold, we started to dismantle the tower we set up to inspect the chimney. After talking to a local builder, he confirmed that the chimney was supported by the traditional extract hood in the room below,
I've got it.
and we plan on getting a professional to demolish the chimney and repair the roof.
Are you in position?
Yeah.
Let go. Let go. No. Okay, go.
Why is it so heavy?
That looks good. I'll pivot. So that one needs to be a lot higher. Oh, look at that.
Putting up the scaffold is a time-consuming process. We're planning on buying more legs, so one of us can start breaking down one tower while the other person sticks insulation boards to the wall. It's not a fully developed plan, but we think it should speed things up.